This is like when influencers, myself included, go to like a phase pool party or TwitchCon or something, and there's cameras everywhere, and we're just like trying to find some aura moments. Okay, this is. Hey, I'm gonna walk up to the speaker. Oh, that's funny. All right, can we get to? I see a lot of chatters in here that are actively trying to not watch this video and shift my attention away to something different. Okay? And I suspect it's because a lot of you are worried that you are going to immediately nut with the uncontrollable sexual aura that is emanating from Hakeem Jeffries. And I know you're afraid. Your bussies and your pussies and your penises and your gocks, they're quivering. You're worried. You're about to bust. And it's fine. Hakeem the Dream Jeffries is here. Keep your mouth shut. Dem leader, House Republicans go nose to nose in hallway spat. I did see this video and I did think it was aura, like a little bit. I like that. I like what Hakeem is doing here.
Let me ask you a question. Did you get permission from your boss?
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss, Donald Trump?
You can easily extend the ACA right now.
Did your boss, Donald Trump, give you permission? Yes, he is.
No, he's not. And by the way,
so let me ask you a
why
question.
did you vote to shut the government down? Why did you vote to shut it down?
Let me ask you a question.
For years, you always lectured about how we need to keep the government open.
You're making a show of this to make yourself relevant.
It's sad. You could easily sign on to this.
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
You could sign on to this. The only embarrassment here is you.
You're an embarrassment.
You could sign on to the bill.
Let me ask you a question.
You have 4 Democrats on here. Why won't you sign on to it?
Let me ask you a question.
It's a clean extension for 1 year.
You voted for the one big ugly bill, correct?
I voted for a tax cut bill that gave the largest tax cut to Americans in history, including, by the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
Do you want to cut the standard deduction in half?
The largest cut to Medicaid in American
history.
You voted for that.
Fraud, and abuse, by the way.
Voted
Tom DiNapoli, the Democratic controller of New York,
let me ask you a question.
Pointed out that $1.2 billion were wasted.
Listen, you're not going to talk. You're not going to talk to me. You're not going to talk to me and talk over me
New York residents
because you don't want to hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm listening.
So why don't you just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
because you showed up.
Is that the way to talk?
You showed up.
Yeah.
And so you voted for this one big
I signed
ugly
on
bill.
For this. You can extend it right now.
A permanent extension of massive tax breaks for your billionaire donors.
So 90% of Americans.
So they can get a permanent extension.
90% of Americans take the standard deduction.
Is that right?
90% of Americans take the standard deduction.
Is that right?
If you had your way, the standard deduction would have been cut in half. That would have been a massive tax increase on Americans all across the country.
You're
you support
here,
that?
Unfortunately,
you're against lifting the cap on salt.
Of your billionaire donors.
The billionaire donors lifting the cap on salt. We put a income cap in place.
Why are you here right now?
An income cap. Didn't you want all Republicans to be here? I'm here.
Where are the rest of your Republican
You wanted Republicans to be here. I'm here.
Why are you here?
And by the way, you can pass an ACA extension right now. Sign on to this bill.
Did your boss
sign on to the bill?
Is your boss Donald Trump behind it?
HR 5145. Why don't you get on it?
Mike, is your boss Donald Trump behind that?
Why won't you get on it?
Because you don't work for the American people.
Oh, I do. I work for the people of New York. I work for the people of my district.
Is that why you?
I'm here.
You got 140.
And by the way, I voted for a clean CR to keep the government open and funded. You voted to shut it down.
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
Yeah, leader. With all due respect, you're the one.
Why are you playing yourself?
You're the one who actually voted to shut the government down.
Actually, you know
sad.
That's not true.
It's sad. You voted to shut the government down.
Do Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the president?
Right, and you're smart enough to know that you need 60 votes in the Senate, right?
Is that right? No.
Do you need 60 votes in the Senate or no?
Were 60 votes needed to pass your one big ugly bill?
Reconciliation, which you did with the IRA, and boy, that really reduced inflation.
Are you
did a
trying
great
to
job
elevate
there.
yourself because you're afraid
I'm not
you're
trying to
about lose
elevate myself.
re-election?
No, I'm not going to lose re-election. You spent $42 million last cycle.
Mike,
you didn't do that great.
Why aren't you running for governor right now?
Because I actually enjoy this job, and I'm here to do it. And by the way, you could actually pass a subsidy right now to ensure that people don't have health care premiums going up. Why won't you support this one-year bill?
Let me ask you a question.
Tom Swazi's on it, Jared Golden.
Let me ask you a question.
We found it. We found the one guy that literally is even nerdier and more Rizless than Hakeem Jeffries, that Hakeem Jeffries actually looks good standing next to him and actually yelling at him. It turns out This is what was necessary. When you see him on his own, okay? Luckily, by the way, this time I was literally unbuttoning my own shirt that, you know, I'm not like, you know, zapping Kaya to go sit in her bed that she normally goes and lays down on, for the record. Thank God my hands are, you know, idiots. I must have been hitting the button with my dick. That's what I was doing. Okay, dude, now you're stretching it. Kind of a shocker you're still talking about it. Is it really? Nerdy as f- he said to shut the f- up like I used to say it to my mom. She let me, she left my room after grounding me. That's such a white chatter trait. I couldn't imagine saying that to my mom even after she left the room.
Losing Camp Perez, are they wrong?
Your other boss,
are they wrong?
Your other boss, Mike Johnson, I challenged him to a debate.
Yeah.
On the floor. Did he send you?
No, I'm here on my behalf of my constituents, because you shut the government down. And my constituents are suffering as a result of your ridiculous ploy, because you're so afraid of Zoran Mandami. By the way, when are you endorsing him?
By the way,
do you endorse him for mayor?
First of all, are
you okay, that's a point. That's a point for Lawler. Okay, point Lawler.
Listen, you're a complete and total embarrassment right now.
Oh, why is that? Because you don't want to answer the question?
Is this supposed to be a video for your failed re-election?
You don't want to answer the question? Do you support Zoran? By the way, did you see his statement yesterday?
Listen.
An embarrassment on October 7th, blaming the Jews? You support that? Should he be the...
Oh no. I didn't see this full video. I saw a short version where he looked like he had aura. How is he pro-Zoran but pro-Israel? He's not. You think he's pro-Zoran or pro-Israel? Both of these guys are pro-Israel stooges, okay?
Democratic nominee for mayor.
First of all, I don't answer to you.
Should he be the Democratic mayor? Should he be the Democratic nominee for mayor?
Whatever questions I need to answer about the
so you think his statement yesterday was okay?
First of all,
that's sad.
First of all,
it's unfortunate.
Don't come with this phony...
These are bills. These are bills. They're not phony. They're real bills.
Bill that Republicans are even prepared to bring to the floor.
There's 11 Republicans on it. There's 4 Democrats. It's a bipartisan bill to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies. If you believe in it so much,
math?
why won't you sign on to it?
Do you understand math?
You could get your whole conference to sign on today. Your whole conference could sign on to this.
There are 220 Republicans in the House right now.
You have 215 Democrats. You have 215 Democrats. Well, how many votes does it take in the House? 218.
Are you mathematically challenged, bro?
No, I think you are. You have 215 Democrats. You could all sign on to this today with 11 Republicans. It'd be great.
I've indulged you. I've given you your 15 minutes.
You haven't answered any of the questions.
You're a complete and total embarrassment.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing yourself in your district right now, and you're going down to defeat next year.
Hey, gentlemen. Hey, Speaker. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Ruben Gallego, Mark Kelly confront Speaker Johnson in tense exchange. They should be allowed to fight. I mean, you know my advocacy in this field, okay? I have been a major advocate. Lawler, $392,669 from AIPAC versus Jeffries, $866,550 from AIPAC. God damn. I think Congress would be better. This shit is so fake. This is really just to feed the media. Yeah, a lot of it is. This is exactly why Zoran's statement was such a failure. I don't think it was as big as a failure. But this is the reason why there's no reason not to include like additional context, even when talking about October 7th, because like these guys are never going to. These guys' position against you is that you're anti-genocide and you're anti-Zionist, right? So it's not like any kind of like October 7 was a horrifying incident that, you know, sparked some kind of reaction from Israel, but the reaction went a little too hard. Like that kind of omission of like what came prior to October 7 makes it seem as though, Israel's reaction was to a certain degree warranted, but obviously like how they reacted was a little too far, right? How they reacted was a little too far. And that in and of itself is a concession that you don't need to even remotely imply, because these guys are never going to these guys are never ever in a million years going to give you, they're never going to sit there and say, well, at least his like response was timid, his response was like moderated, he mentioned October 7th. Like, no one's gonna say that. Yeah, attempting to concoct a statement that everybody will be satisfied by is a losing game, and Zoran's team needs to stop these increasing attempts to chase after it. Like, the Israel Foreign Ministry straight up came out and we're like, this is, you know, you're crazy. He stands with Jews only when they're dead. Shameful. Randy Fine literally came out and was like, we need to deport this man or something. Like, he was just going crazy. Yeah. But I guess in that regard, people were too busy hating on Zoran to notice that neither AOC, Ilhan Omar, nor Tlaib released an October 7th statement at all, Lamau. Private Oomph just pointed out that neither did Jeffries. Those AIPAC checks must be declining. Yeah, he just tanked it. He just tanked it for him. Him and Grant Plattner both were like, don't worry, guys, get behind me. Get behind me. I'll say some shit that makes everybody mad. Okay? Randy Fine probably wants to eat Zoran. True. He really does. He wants to eat everything, really. Yeah, like, I don't care that much that Zoran said it, but it's honestly better just to say nothing. I mean, sure. Let's see what Ruben Gallego and Mark Kelly said.
Hey, so here's Congresswoman. And,
so many cameras, bro. This reminds me of, this is like, you know what this is? This is like going to a phase pool party. That's what it feels like to me. These are all, this is like when influencers, myself included, go to like a phase pool party or TwitchCon or something. And there's cameras everywhere. And we're just like trying to find some aura moments. Okay. This is, hey, I'm going to walk up to the speaker. Oh, that's funny. They're clip farming.
Yeah, reopen the government so we get back to work.
I mean, but this excuse just keeps on moving.
Yeah, no,
it's not great if you want representation.
I want to see something crazy. You know what I mean? I want to see him like slap Mike Johnson or something. Like, I want some real motion, okay? I want something real. I want to feel like they're real. Don't say that. Okay, like I just calling for political violence, like not like a serious violence slap. I mean like a little, like one of these. You know? I want some real wrestling, man. Real wrestling. Why isn't there some real wrestling? If it's WWE, might as well just go into it.
There's 750.
Wait, let me answer the question. We're happy that she got elected. She's filling her father's seat. That's fantastic. We have a long tradition here and a process of how we administer the oath to a member. You know, you served here for a while. We're going to do that as soon as we get back to work, but we need the lights turned back on, so we encourage both of you to go open the government so we can get everybody back to regular session.
Republican swore the person in
No,
under the same circumstance.
the exception is there were 2 Floridians who were elected in a special election. It's happened a couple months back. They were here on a day, they had their families here, they had a scheduled day for the oath of office, and the House was called out of session that day. They had all their family and friends here, so we went ahead and went through the process in a pro forma.
With all due
Let me
respect,
finish. Wait, let me answer the question if you're going to ask it. And so that was the exception we did because the family was here. Ms. Grijalva, Rep-elect Grijalva, has not yet had a scheduled date because she was elected after the House was out of session. So I am anxious to administer the oath to her as soon as you guys vote to open the government.
You don't want her to be on Epstein discharge. How much?
It's totally absurd. You guys are experts at red herrings and distraction.
Moving along.
No, I'm not. It has nothing to do with Epstein. The House Oversight Committee The House Oversight Committee is working on the Epstein files right now, releasing 34,000 pages and more on the way.
No, she's key to
Let me
that discharge
finish.
petition.
Let me finish. The House Oversight
You just
Committee.
keep coming up with excuses. This is an excuse where she doesn't sign on to that.
This is absurd.
This is the longest time the House.
Do you
has
want me
been
to
on
answer the
Senate.
question? If you ask a
Because
question,
you're
let me
not
answer.
actually answering the question. This
Okay.
entirely has to do with the
Okay,
Epstein
you see, this is a publicity stunt. Let me tell you what's happening. The House Oversight Committee is working on the release of the Epstein files. There are some of the biggest bulldogs in Congress in the Republican and Democrat side who are working on that aggressively. I met with the victims before they went out and did the press conference, and the House Oversight is doing its job. Did you know? You might not, because we haven't been in session. The House Oversight has its lawyers in New York City combing through the Epstein estate files. None of that had been anticipated by discharge petitions or anything else. They have subpoenas that are being supplied, they're being followed through on by the Department of Justice. We have more subpoenas that are outstanding for big name persons, Democrats and Republicans, and there are more documents coming through. They're doing the work, they're doing it methodically, they're doing it with subpoena power, and you don't need an act of Congress for that to happen because they're already on it.
So they
and
don't
I was in the room with all of them.
Why are you blocking her then?
I'm not blocking her, I just
This
told
is
you.
the longest time that House Oversight has been out of session. That's not in a regular August session. This is the longest time it's taken for someone to be sworn in, and it all happens to coincide with the fact that she's going to be the deciding vote on the discharge petition.
I know why you're upset. I know why you're upset.
Mike,
you
I
get a
gotta-
lot of heat because the government is closed down and you guys
Well, we're
made
not.
the decision.
Actually, no.
You wait,
Mike,
you
I
made
got
it
a-
5 times
Mike,
to
I
keep the
got a
government
request.
closed.
I got a
Yes,
request.
yes.
Why don't we do this? Why don't you bring back your Republican members so we can have a serious negotiation with
We're
them
going to have plenty of
about this?
negotiations as
Well, why
soon
don't
as you
we-
open the
why don't
government.
we- Why don't we
Let me
bring
tell you why
back-
they're not here, because the House
I
did
mean,
its job.
14 days since July 25th.
Yeah, and real people
They've
are
been
feeling
on
real
an-
pain.
And they've been on an extended summer
Let's
vacation.
feel the pain with
They're not on
So you bring
vacation.
them back.
Wait a minute.
I have
wait
an
a minute.
opportunity. I can
Vacations
talk to
can happen.
every one of my Republican colleagues down there, and we're talking about
Every
this
day
all
we're
the
talking
time.
about
Yeah, and they're talking about it over here as well.
And
keep
our
your members
Republican
hidden.
members from Arizona, where are they? They
They're,
are
they're in their
Arizona.
district. They're in their districts
They're-
working.
They're sitting.
Wait a minute.
They're sitting.
Oh, hey, Mike
They
Lawler.
did their job.
They did
They
their
are
job.
sitting in their basements.
Come here, Mike Lawler from New York. Tell
With
them.
all due respect, you voted multiple times to keep the government shut down, okay? The Republican members from Arizona voted to keep the government open.
They did.
So don't sit here and try to lecture us about
So
whether or
tell me
not
what's
we
gonna
did our
happen to
job.
premiums
We did our
here.
job. You did not.
What's going to
Well,
be
you're not doing
premiums?
your
What
job
happens to
right
your
now.
premiums?
Oh, you mean the bill that I'm signed on to extend it?
Oh, they're like that. This guy is everywhere, huh? Mike Lawler really having a grand old time out here. He's everywhere, baby. Someone in the chat said WWE earlier, and yeah, this literally reads as one of those backstage confrontations they have in between matches. Yeah, it is. When did Veritasium go Republican? Yeah, he is. He's a Republican now. He might be vying for the Trump replacement. It's kind of an open field. People don't like Vance. Obviously, Mike Johnson is a hog, but do you think the Dems are overblowing this thing about delaying her swearing in because of the Epstein files process? I don't think so. I think they're just trying to be annoying. I'm sure that's part of the reason. You know what I mean? I don't think they're blowing their load on anything, really. I think they've done a pretty decent job. They should talk about like how much money is not being paid to government employees like every single day. You know what I mean? Every single day that this moves forward, they should be constantly talking about Project 2025 and how Trump has openly stated that like Russ Vought is going to be the Reaper. They should be talking about healthcare and how many people are going to lose healthcare, or at least their like premiums are going to go up by how much. Every day they should be talking about that. Every damn day. Do shutdowns usually last this long? Government shutdowns can last even longer than this. I believe like the longest one in recent years was 35 days or something. Yeah, like in 2019 it was 35 days, the last one. I keep getting confused. Why does Mike keep saying it's the Dems that whatever who are keeping the government shut down is just smoke and mirrors or what? Because that can't be true, right? No, there is truth to that statement, but it takes two to tango. They can't get like they can't get 10 votes beyond the Republicans in the Senate in order to advance this what they call clean funding bill, right? But the reason why the Democrats are pushing for the shutdown is because they want the Republicans to meet their demands. They want the Republicans to meet their demands on protecting people's Medicaid, to ensure that like COVID era provision that offers subsidies that help people pay their healthcare premiums do not go away. And they want assurances on the administration not using expanded executive authority to override previous congressional funds that have been allocated, right? Are you going to tase your dog now? Yeah, watch. Okay, are you ready for this? Place. Good girl. Good girly. Good job. Who's a good girly? You're a good girly. I'm tasing her to wag her tail when I speak in that tone of voice as well. When I say who's a good girly, it's I'm also tasing her to do that. It's mind control. I have Law, you've changed your voice since the incident. Brother, you are literally the most idiotic person if you don't think that I talk to my dog in this exact same way, with the exception of a 10-second increment that you saw. Are you stupid? All right. Hit me with the clips, chat. Someone lock in. Someone send me the clip compies. There's a million of them. Why would you make such a stupid argument? There are literally a million hours of me obviously talking to my dog in that way. Oh, more abuse, more abuse.
She doesn't like gay things. Do you have a pet voice?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes even higher than that. Is that an ick?
That's an ick.
Wait, cutie, let me hear your pet voice.
Hiya, come here, little girls. Hi, girly.
Okay, you ready for mine?
Yeah. Hiya, come here, Kaya.
It's so weird. When he did this earlier, I was like, I thought there was a different person.
Such a good girl.
I am very understanding of other people's pet voices because mine is like super lame.
Yours.
Yeah. It's such a funny thing to act as though like I don't constantly adore this little lady.
Okay.
I think I heard it wrong.
I think you said go and die. I was like, Jesus.
Iron Mouse Conyo.
Okay.
Listen, they took my name, okay?
Can Hasan post a single clip of him being affectionate towards his dog, hugging and petting her and calling her a good girl? I can't find any. That's insane. That's actually insane. That is such a stupid claim to make. Who did not look will go, I can't find any. Yeah, that's the biggest shot caller of all time. As you can tell, as you can see. You're responding to AI boss, my guy? No, there's like unironically a lot of people who saw that clip and were like convinced that they're like, I'm abusing my dog. And I'm just like a person who treats this beautiful little lady, my little lady, as a prop on the stream and shit. Okay? You guys haven't seen all the PFPs of white women that we've seen? Yeah, exactly. There's like hella liberals who think like I'm abusive as to my dog, bro. It is crazy. More abuse, more clips of abuse. What? Speaking to the microphone. Oh, don't lick it. Oh, don't lick me. That was, oh my God. Look at how tiny she was back then in comparison to now. Like, look at her size there. Okay. Look at her size there. My BFF doesn't give a about you, sent me this drama about you to me. Yeah. It's also funny because like chatters will get annoying and will be like, why don't you show us Kaya? Which is because Kaya is not always on stream. Can you still pick her up? I'm going to try right now. I do call her fat. Maybe that's the thing that they'll get mad about next. They'll be like, Hasan is fat shaming her dog. Okay. Kaya, come here. Come here. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh, she's so big. Look at how much bigger she is now. You want to say something? Yeah. Speak your truth. Speak your truth, lady. Speak your truth. Oh my God. Can she go bigger? I think this is it. More torture. Bro's out of breath. Dog, this dog is 120 pounds. Have you ever tried to pick up a person that is 120 pounds? It's a little different than just like 120 pounds of like barbell weight, you know? Streamer suplexes scared abused dog. I know. Folks on Facebook were raging, spent the day trolling them, but seriously, folks lost their mind. Any excuse to hate you. Like I said, there is a reason. There is a reason why. It's because the clip looks horrible. I get it. I totally get it. That's why the haters ran with it and aggressively plastered it everywhere. And if you don't know who the I am and that's your first interaction, you're like, what a piece of shit this guy is. You haven't seen a million different moments on this broadcast. Anyway, you're falling for it, Hasan. All this hate is just an excuse to make the entire day a side character episode. True, but also you get to appreciate Kaya more. So I feel like it's not. Why don't you let Kaya speak for herself? True. It's because I don't like women. I don't let women speak. The best part of this as a political watcher is seeing seeing clips of Kaya that aren't from the stream. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, cute, right, because you know what? We actually have put forth legislation to do it. You guys just keep pontificating. How about you go down the hall and go vote to open the government up? That would be great. All right, here's the clean CR. Go vote to open the government up. Thank you very much.
We're going to have lots of... Wait a minute.
If you bring them back, we will have a discussion with them. It's very simple.
You're holding the American people hostage because you want to have a policy debate. We have policy debates here every day. The House works on that.
There's no policy debate and nobody's there. You're talking to yourself and this guy here.
We're having the debate.
My constituents and yours. I imagine yours are going to be hurt even worse than ours with these premium increases.
We have a lot of issues to work on together, and the Republicans are the party. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute.
Are the party that's going to kill healthcare.
No. By the way, healthcare premiums since 2010, when Obamacare passed, have risen by over 60%. So what you're cut now? You want to cut now? You're not upset about that? You should be upset about that.
Well, then get going. Get your people in line and get.
Okay. Drama. Marjorie Taylor Greene also came out popping off saying is the Republicans that were Republican leaders were at fault for the government shutdown. So that was interesting. Yes, they just some bills. Yes, they only some bills and they sit in there on Capitol Hill. Yup. It hasn't affected me, so it's not important. Fair. I paid $37 in tariffs on a $75 item yesterday. Can't stop winning. America's so hot. Here's a farmer on how the Argentina bailout.
We get up one morning and you give Argentina, which is our second biggest competition in the world.
You know, half his homies, maybe himself as well, voted for Donald Trump and would do it again, by the way.
We're the largest exporters of soybean meal in the world. So I get up one morning, I turn the news on, and you give $20 billion of taxpayer money to my competition. And then the Chinese buy, I think the figure is 30 or 40 containers, ships, which is about 65,000 metric tons per ship, which is like 2.2 million bushels. So they buy 12 or 14 billion dollars.
I need you to understand something. I know for a fact that if given the opportunity, these would vote for Trump again. Do you want to know why I know that? Because Trump did this the last time and they still voted for him. Do you understand? It's not new. Trump did this the last time and they were like, oh, I can't believe he's doing this. It really f***ed me over. What the hell? And then they turned around and fell for it again. What do you say to this guy? How do you get a guy that literally is a business owner, okay? Because remember, these farmers aren't like, they're not farmhands. They're like owners of business, kulaks, if you will. How do you get that guy? I don't know about this guy in particular, but I know many farmers exactly like this guy. They did vote for Donald Trump again, and Donald Trump had fucked them in the same exact way. Maybe not this hard, but in the same exact way last time he was president. Again, with the China shit. What happened? What happened? I thought there's one thing that you're supposed to care about more than anything else, which is money, okay? Your pockets. And your pockets were hurting. Yeah, it's not like, guys, he didn't do this with anything but soybeans. Like this literally happened with China specifically because of soybeans. So soybean farmers that got over last time because Trump did this exact same thing, maybe not to this degree, but a very similar deal making took place, and China said, okay, we're lowering the amount of soybeans we're purchasing from American soybean farmers in order to f*** Trump over. And they literally were like, oh no, Mr. President, what have you done? And Trump was like, shut up, here's some bailout money, okay, suck my dick. And then these guys turned around and went, yeah, I think I'm gonna vote for him again. I think I'm going to vote for him again. Hopefully he doesn't do the soybean thing that he did. Okay. Last time he did that. Yeah. At least a trans person won't be able to use the bathroom in the Starbucks 3 states over. Yep. Fantastic. Last time he gave the farmers a bailout, they're only mad they haven't gotten their socialism yet. I mean, it's not. Can they actually make up for the amount that they're losing in this situation? The whole point is to screw over small American farmers so rich billionaires can buy up their land and have a chokehold over all the resources. They're just too stupid to realize that they can't. Yeah, I can see that. There's always a bigger capital owner, okay, out there. You might be thinking you're sitting pretty on top of your throne, okay, where you think like, oh no, you don't understand, like, we got automation. We got Mexicans. Trump won't come after my Mexicans. And then you're like, what the hell? He is coming after my Mexicans. How did this happen? It's like, brother, you voted for it. You were at the rallies. You were saying, get them all out. What do you think all means? What do you think was happening at the rallies where you had the mass deportation signs up? What do you think mass means? What do you think deportations means? You were running around saying, get them all out. And now you got no workers, you got no bitches, you got no soybeans to sell to China, and you're sitting there bitchless. You're sitting there bitchless, and you're like, what the hell happened? It's like, well, the same thing that happened last time happened again. Now you got to sell the farm.
Worth of soybeans from the Argentinians after the tax holiday. And here's the caveat to it. They give $2.30 over the November board. Well, I'm getting.
Imagine banning people for saying you shouldn't harm your dog. Brother, we're not banning people for making like a neutral anti-dog abuse statement. You're making a ridiculous accusation. That's why you're getting banned. I don't get it. I'm just anti-dog abuse. Or I guess you're pro-dog abuse. It's like, no, dumbass. It's because you're saying I'm doing that. Let me explain it to you. Where is the dog? At your mother's house. I don't get it. I have a constitutional right to sit here in the chat of my least favorite Twitch streamer because I got duped by a bunch of bad faith actors into believing that he's actually hurting his dog. Why can't I just sit here and yell at him and call him a dog abuser, bro? What the why'd you ban me? It's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe because you're out of your mind. That's a bear, man. Whoever told you that dog gave you a fluffy bear. Yeah. The designer bear that I purchased for $1 million.
50 cents under the November board. So that makes the Argentinian soybeans about $12.42 a bushel. I think that's the real figure they gave. So all my premium went.
Scott, I just lost you there at the end. You said your premiums go.
Oh, yeah. The state of Israel is going to geofence every major church in California, Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, and all Christian colleges and track churchgoers as they leave to target them with pro-Israel ads, by the way. They're trying to basically hit any group that they can. They're so goddamn desperate. Hasan Reactions is one of the best ones in the React channel.